Howdy, I'm your favorite Uncle Jer, and when I first got contacted by Sharon, I thought, yay, an opportunity to come and get some sort of approval, which has its own roots in a lot of sickness, but you know, we'll get there another time. The second thing I thought was, well, what the hell is Speed Geeking? And so then I watched CD and I figured I probably should do something because I don't actually sing in the shower. But I was thinking about what to say, because as I understand it, this is about trying to impart some thought or wisdom to help people that are just coming into mediation or are moving in here. And I remember my first experiences of wanting that kind of approval and wanting to prove that I was good and wanting to prove that I was valuable and purposed and knowledgeable and all this stuff. And what I would want to say to myself back then, and what I would want to say to people coming in, is that mediation, if you're the mediator, mediation is not about you and it's not for you. The process itself is for other people. We are a service industry. You know, I think we tend to think of ourselves as professionals, and I think there's a corollary where people who are professionals think that they are experts. When really we're hosts and we are hostesses, and we are people that facilitate, and we encourage discussion, and we do all these things. And I think the liberty in that is that we get to be indifferent. It is not about what I would want. It is not about what I care about. I really don't have to think anything that results from this is a good idea. And that takes a lot of the heat off me. And I like that, because I don't want that. I remember when I started working with kids, what I would teach the new youth workers was, we want compassionate indifference. We want to care about people. We don't want to care about what they do. That's why we give junkies jobs. That's why we, pat a sex trade worker on the back and say, have a good night. And that's what we do, because we care about them, not what they do. And a result of that in mediation is that we don't have to think anything about the outcome. We simply have to think about the process, and I think that's a really important thing. Why that is because we have a tendency, I think, as people, to form narratives that are in line with what we believe is going to happen. You know, Harper Lee in To Kill a Mockingbird, the judge admonished the crowd saying, people generally see what they're looking for and they hear what they're listening for. And I think in mediation, you don't know what to expect. You shouldn't know what to expect. You're not going to be the beneficiary. You're not going to be on the losing side. There simply is a discussion. That's it. And so if I were to speak to somebody coming in, obviously be prepared. Obviously be competent. Obviously, wear pants and all that good stuff. But don't worry about being an expert, because you don't need to be. Be kind. Be compassionate. Be interested. For Christ's sake, be interested. And follow that, natural desire that we have as good people to help other people have discussions, so that they can avoid that further litigious process where you do have to care about the outcome. Right? So, questions?
Actually, I have a question. What do you do when you feel yourself getting into somebody's side,
we talk about bias a lot, and I think there's a good correlation. I announce my bias when I start mediation, and a lot of the work that I do is in family or child protection, and I tell people, you ask me who I work for. Well, I don't work for you, and I don't work for you. Who I work for is I work for your kid. And my job is to help them have the discussion that they require to make sure that they grow up healthy, safe, and well with every opportunity for success. And I say that in pretty much every mediation. And I also make a point of saying during mediation that, first of all, I don't get a free set of steak knives if you come to an agreement. And secondly, I'm a dancing monkey. I just type what you tell me to type. And I also tell people that it's not my agreement, and I don't really care. And when I first started, I said that to somebody. I said, I don't care what you do. And their lawyer said, Well, no, he doesn't mean that. No, I really don't care. You want to walk out, I'm good. Let's eat some muffins and talk, and all that's good. But if you want to walk out, I don't care. Not my life, not my decision, not my agreement. It's you. So that's how I balance the bias piece, because I don't work for them. And if I'm mediating for you, my responsibility is the process, not the outcome. And that's what I focus on.
Are you able to keep that mental place even if you see mutual agreement amongst the parties going in a place that you know is going to be bad for the kid?
Unfortunately, yes. I think that, one of the very first mediations I did, there was a bunch of stupid social workers who were just unable to really distinguish between what is a Section 13 concern, and so a reason that a child would need protection, and what's the best interest of the child decision, which has very little to do with the legal perspective on the matter, and more than a few times. And depending on the quality of the lawyers, and depending on the abilities of the parents, and the character of the social workers, I could say, okay, great. But one of the things that I tell my kids and whoever I'm talking to is everybody gets the same smile. Pedophiles get this smile. You want to beat your wife, I'm still going to smile at you like this, because everybody gets this smile. And I don't care, because it's not my life and it's not my agreement. My responsibility is the process. And if you want to do the stupidest thing on earth, well, I'll type that agreement for you, because that's my job. All right.
That's great.
Cool.